Before we get going too far with Flash, I think it's important that you and I have a discussion on the variety of components that make up Flash. And I also want to give you sort of a visual representation so that we understand exactly how all of this is going to work. Because working with Flash is a little bit different than working with some of the other applications that you may use on a regular basis. And of course, the term Flash is really almost an umbrella term that can mean a variety of different things. It can mean different things depending on who you're talking to. So let's have a quick discussion here. Now, there's three main components that I want to address here related to Flash. We have the Flash development platform, we have Flash file formats, and thirdly, we have the Flash player plugin. So let's address each of these components and take a closer look at each of these. So first off, let's talk about the Flash development platform. This is the actual Flash program or the actual Flash application where you and I are going to be building our animations, our movies, and all the fun stuff. This is where all the building and the development happens. And the Flash program, the Flash application, is timeline-based, and it's also built on a vector graphics engine. Now, what that means is essentially in the world of graphics, we have two types of graphics. We have raster graphics and vector graphics. You might know about this already, but essentially a raster graphic, very simply, is a graphic like a photograph. A vector graphic would be something like a cartoon or maybe a logo or something like this, right? We'll get into more detail on the differences between these two as we go along, but that's kind of the long and short of it. So oftentimes when people ask me, what exactly is Flash or how do I work with Flash, I would say, well, do you know Adobe Illustrator? And they might say yes. And then I would say, well, it's like Adobe Illustrator, but with a timeline. So we have this element of time built into our application, or maybe we could say it's sort of like Photoshop, but with this element of a timeline. So that's kind of the short and sweet of it anyway. We can also work in audio and video. The Flash development platform allows us to work with both audio and video as well. And the development platform also has its own scripting language called ActionScript, and you'll see a little bit of this a little bit later on as well. Okay, now the Flash file formats. There's a bunch of them, but there's only two that I want to talk about here with you. We have .fla and we have .swf. You may have seen these files in your travels. Let's talk about FLAs first of all. FLAs are Flash's native file format, just like .psd is Photoshop's native file format, or .doc is Microsoft Word's native file format. And a .fla is the authoring file, again, where all of the components of our animations, of our movies, are stored in a fully editable format. Okay. Now, SWF files. SWS stands for Shockwave Flash. Some people refer to them as SWIFT files. I usually just call them SWFs. And here's how it works. And we're going to get into more detail with this in just a moment. But FLA files are going to be published to the SWF format. So in other words, we can't post an FLA file on the web. We have to post SWF files. So we have to take our FLAs and publish them to the SWF format. Now, SWFs are compressed versions of FLAs that the Flash Player plugin can read. So all of a sudden, hopefully for you, things are starting to connect together here. SWFs are small in file size and are designed for streaming web content. All right, now more on that, as I say, in just a moment. Let's talk about our Flash Player plugin. The Flash Player plugin is cross-platform. It's a web browser plugin, and the current version that we're on as of this recording is 10.1. And it's also available for many mobile operating systems as well. Now, the Flash Player plugin can read and render SWF files, and those SWF files in turn can contain animation, ActionScript, audio, video, including the FLV, or Flash's video file format, and also graphic files as well. So that's how that works. All right, now let me give you sort of a visual representation, as I've been promising all along here, as to how all of this works. You and I are going to be working inside the Flash development platform, or inside the Flash application, to put it in plain English. Once we build our animation, we build our movies, we've worked in some graphics, maybe a little bit of action script, and even possibly some video, then what? How do we share our work with the world? Well, let's use the example of web design. Let's say we're going to post something online. We're going to build some Flash content with the intention of sharing it online. So what we need to do then is we need to take our Flash movie, which would be saved as a .fla, and we're going to publish that Flash movie to the SWF file format. So you and I are going to wind up with a .swf file. We're going to take that .swf file, and most likely we're going to drop it into a web layout, into an HTML page, right? Probably in Dreamweaver or something like this. And then what's going to happen is we're going to take all of our files, all of our HTML files, our SWF file, and possibly some graphic files and whatever else we have, and we're going to upload them to our web server. And then the viewer is going to come along inside their web browser, and they're going to use their web browser, of course, to navigate through our website. And because their web browser has the Flash Player plugin installed, they can see the SWF file inside their browser. That's how it works. So hopefully this all makes sense.